Good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Ohm Service Live with me, Marky Mark. We've got BFG Stevie, and we've got Betty Dillygaff Porter, as always.
Dillygaff no more, I'm afraid.
You are? You'll always be Dillygaff.
No. I'll always be Dillygaff, but there'll be no more atomizer stands.
I didn't say all about your stands. I just called you Dillygaff.
All right, okay. Carry on, sorry, sir.
No, I'll leave you to it. No, I'll just sit back now.
Yeah, I've start again. There's, I suppose, quite a lot of you have actually seen on my Facebook group and on the Dillygaff Facebook page that I have decided to call it a halt. My physical health isn't great. The arthritis in my hands is getting worse. So I'm finding it difficult for the little fiddly bits and pieces to try and put IT stands and things like that together. So I've just thought, you know what, enough's enough. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not enjoying it anymore because of the pain that I'm in. And it's taking far too long for me to try and get things organised and get things in that built. So I've just decided, you know, enough's enough. It's time for me to do something for me.
I can seriously appreciate that one.
Find something that I enjoy, because there's times I've been sitting in this room for hours on end trying to make up designs and things like that for people, and you send the designs through and you hear them a price, and then you don't hear for people, and it's like, you know what, why the f should I bother? And it's been preying on my mind for months, and I did say it before, do you know what, I've had enough, I'm not doing it anymore. But
I think sometimes that once you make that decision, all of a sudden that weight comes off your shoulder anyway.
Yeah. The thing is, don't get me wrong, I mean, I've still got a fair bit of stock lying around in the shed and stuff. So what I plan to do is just casually just make some stands up as I'm going along, just to get rid of them, and I'll stick them up on the Facebook group if and when they become available, and if anybody's interested, they'll be there at a discounted price anyway. So yeah, so that's me. So Dillygaff IT stands is...
It's totally understandable. Sad though, but totally understandable, because they are unique. These simple little things, and I still say they are probably one of the best Atty stands I have ever seen or used. I really do. They are fantastic.
Thank you.
Just thought I'd mention that.
So I just thought I'd get it out there because I say I've had a lot. Well, I've had a few people message me, private message, and asking, what's going on and stuff. So I thought I'd just get it out there for everybody. So it's nothing. There's nothing sinister in anything like that. It's just it's time for me to hang up my aluminium and shit.
Well, when you've already made your millions, mate. I mean.
Oh, I fucking wish.
And the Russian piston market's just fucking.
Well, yeah, that's just.
Yeah. Yeah, can't get pistons because they keep putting them in tanks.
Bless you.
I mean, it's a bit of a devil when they're asking for them back.
Yo, brother, we want back piston.
Fuck my balls, Mr. Putin.
Anyway, hello everybody on the replay, hello everybody in chat, hope you're all alright. And how's you twos anyway?
Still hurting from last week.
It was a rather good show, wasn't it?
Oh.
It was the follow-up comments I like to post up in the group, which you hopefully are all aware of on Facebook. And some of the comments I got on that, happy dead man on a stick day. It was just wrong. But they were on my post. They were nothing to do with the... No, because we don't.
And while we're at it, happy birthday, Mom. I know you're an avid watcher.
Mom?
Thanks, Brian Fletch.
Yeah, Mom. The Queen.
Queen's birthday.
Oh, it's her 96, isn't it?
Yeah, she's 96, bless her.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, she's an avid watcher. She'll be in chat in a bit, don't worry.
Do you think if she reaches 100, she'll send herself a telegram?
I think that's what she's planning on doing. She's the longest reigning monarch.
True.
And because it's an anniversary, we get an extra day off in June.
Oh, so we do.
It's fab.
Oh, does that not take away the... Are they not replacing the last bank holiday in May with that one, though?
Yeah, they've just shifted it across.
I thought that. Because we don't normally get that.
So we get 2 days together. We get the Thursday and Friday together.
Yeah. Oh, God. This
Is it? Because I think my employer's only giving us 1 day, the miserable bastards.
No, it's Thursday and Friday.
Yeah,
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday.
That's even better news.
We
we don't get the 2nd May. We don't get the 2nd May Day holiday because Glasgow and the west of Scotland. I don't know about the rest of Scotland, but we get what they call September weekend, which is normally the last weekend in September, obviously. So hence the reason we don't get the last Monday in May, and we don't get the August bank holiday that you guys get.
Right. Well, shall I say hello to chat?
Oh, yes, please do.
Apologies if I miss anybody, because the participant list is extremely short for some reason this evening, even though people are typing away in a frenzy. So, Connie Ulrich, good evening. Dawn W. Hello. Uggles. Fee. Uggles. Fletch. Uggles.
Facebook.
Free Rider Vapor, good evening. Gaily Bops, Uggles, and congrats on the £3. More off. Gordon Bennett, you better note there. We've got Grateful Ants, good evening. John Vaping Joker, evening, dude. Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Good evening, Graham, dude. And Mark shared the post, so keep an eye out on Facebook because there's offers on Amatorium flying around.
Yes, there certainly is. And tip £10 each, if I remember rightly, up until midnight tonight, something like that.
Yes. So if you haven't tried it, get yourself in there.
Oh, definitely.
Norse Vapor, good evening.
Norse, fist bump.
Vapor Bunny. Honk, honk.
Honk, honk.
Vapor Queen Becky. Huggles. And let's just see if we. I know there's more in because Faxi M's in.
Faxi, fist bump. Did speak to Vinny. He's a lot better, he says.
Excellent. We've got Grateful Ant, Vapor Queen Becky, Gailey, Dawn W. I don't want to miss Pascal. She's in there. There we are. Pasty, darling. Huggles. Mr. Porter.
What?
Fist bump. And Huggles.
Adam Stone, good evening, sir. Shane's in. Good evening, Shane.
Shane.
Hello.
Yes, Shane.
Kev, WXM.
WXM. Coming through your ears.
And I think that's as far as my chat's going to let me go.
I think you've done well there. Round of applause. Congratulations. You did well done.
Thank you, darling.
And let's not forget all the people on the replay.
Indeed.
Huggles!
Why is that when I do that look as if I'm having an epileptic fit?
Yeah, I think we all do, actually. Yeah, it's the thing of the Ohm Service. You get a huggle. A huggle. I've just had a drink of pop, and that was a little bit of a burp there as well.
Oh, God.
You know when it goes up your nose? It's not like a true burp, it's just one of them burps.
That's only a problem when you've got the tongue in.
Not even going there this week.
No, we're not. We're being good this week.
Are we?
Are we?
Well, it is early.
Well, I'm going home. Oh, I am home.
You were already home. So yes, I've got to quickly go into this. I wanted to ask, especially you, Steve, did you watch Doctor Who?
Oh, yes.
What did you think?
I think my son summed it up best.
Shite.
He saw it before I did. So I said to him, what was your thoughts? And he went, it was like they had a really good idea for a story. Yeah. But they wanted to tie up the love story between Yaz and the Doctor. So like, Yaz and the Doctor, great. It's not long enough. What we're going to do? I know, Sea Devil. And they threw it in. It just felt really rushed.
It did feel rushed. Now, I know that they recorded the actual episode when we was in lockdown. And I've got a feeling that they had some spare time, and that's what they've made. If you noticed in the actual episode, there was a lot of CGI, but not much story.
No.
And the way that they wrapped it up at the end was so quick and blinking you'd have missed it.
Well, this was it. I'm looking forward to the last one. I must admit, Tegan back, Ace back.
Yeah.
It's a nice tie-in. Those two weren't in the anniversary celebration.
They brought Tegan back. Bloody hell.
Yeah, Tegan's back in.
Yeah.
That was the Australian.
Yes. She was introduced in the last of the Tom Baker episodes.
Yeah. No, I can remember from back then.
Yeah, she used to have that short hair and a bit spiky.
Because that was kind of the last times I ever watched. It was to the end of Tom Baker's tenure, to be honest. Well, look at me, tenure. Fucking hell.
Tenure?
What's get?
You get posh. We're rubbing off on you now.
Gailey, if you're a fan...
It is worth a watch.
Yeah, worth watch.
It is worth a watch. I think it was... I don't know. All the way through, I've just not felt that passion for it.
Wasn't the same as Tennant's specials.
No.
Nowhere near as crafted. The storylines weren't as good.
Tenant specials are a totally different thing in Scotland. Comes in a can about that size and gets you pissed quick.
Tenant specials in England brought you happiness.
It's like drinking syrup out of a can.
Yeah, give me 2 cans of who the fuck are you looking at?
So I've been looking on, by all accounts, either next week or the week after, we're going to find out who the new Doctor Who is going to be.
So, who do you think? Fuck's sake! I'm just breaking these teeth in for somebody. Who do you think it will be, or who are you hoping it's going to be?
I don't know, and I don't know. I'll be genuinely honest.
Do you think it will be a well-known name, or do you think it'll be somebody they've just?
I'm hoping that they're going to do at least a Matt Smith. They're going to get an unknown. Because Tennant was doing, what was it now? He got quite famous for it. Was it Scarlet Pimpernel or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So obviously he'd already had that. Whittaker was doing Downton Abbey or whatever it was. So there've been people that are known, and obviously Capaldi. Everybody knew Capaldi, and same with Eccleston. But Matt Smith, he was basically an unknown.
Mm.
And I'm hoping that they're going to do that.
I'd love it to be Aid Edmondson. I would so love it.
Aid Edmondson, yeah, he'd be good.
He'd be fab.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I personally think we've probably already seen their face. Won't be the first time that some of these.
But I mean, I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but do you think that they'll need to pull all the stops out to possibly bring in a well-known actor to try and save the show?
I don't think it needs.
Or do you think it's? I mean, I know Vic's going to be, you guys went on about it primarily. Is it the writer's fault? It doesn't matter what actor they put in the role as long as the writing's there, or is it going to be a combination of both?
I'd say it's a lot to do with writing. A hell of a lot. If you haven't got a good script and you haven't got a good story, it doesn't matter how good your acting is. You can only act with the material that you've been given.
And they've got to lose this political correctness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good day, Stuart.
Good day, mate.
Valentine.
But Russell T Davies is coming back to write.
Yeah.
So they're getting rid of Chibnall.
So I think we're going to lose the PC aspect.
Mm.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Timeless Child storyline.
From what I've been reading up, basically Russell T Davies is going to ignore it.
Which is more than welcome to do. I mean, I do wonder if that's why the Master's in the last episode, in the last special as well, to sort of, I was lying, Yeah,
I've got a feeling that's what it's going to end up being.
Yeah.
But in the next special, which is the last special, they've got the Cybermen in, they've got the lone Cyberman, they've got the the Daleks in as well.
Yeah. I think Angel's in it as well. But either way,
I don't know.
You can kill it. It's very easy to kill a recipe with too many ingredients.
Yeah, and there is a lot of ingredients in that.
Oh, yes.
Hell of a lot. It was lovely that they brought back Sarah Jane at the time that they did when Tennant was about. It was lovely that. But bringing them all back, I mean...
Well, to be fair, Ace, there's a lot of backstory on Ace anyway in the audio adventures. Hell of a lot. And she has been a fan favourite for years. So they're definitely playing up to the fans. So it'll be interesting to see.
I mean, I always felt sorry for her because the budget was zero. And there was that. I mean, obviously, that's when they cancelled Doctor Who anyway. But it'd gone that far down in the ratings and everything because the actual gaffer at BBC hated Doctor Who.
Well, they've got to get rid of this Sunday slot. They have to get rid of that Sunday slot.
See, the problem is it's the Sunday slot because of things like Strictly Come Dancing, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what's killing it.
Mm.
It's not a family show anymore. I mean, Sunday nights, if it's a normal Sunday night, you're getting the kids in the bath, you're getting them ready for school, you're running around, you're doing all the bits. Evening, Alan.
Alan, fist bump, hope you're alright, buddy.
I mean, I think that might just be me, but Saturday night's the night where you kick off your shoes and you just unwind.
See, I can't understand why they can't do Doctor Who and then come Strictly, because that would be the family TV viewing. But,
Well, that's what they did in the 70s. You got Duchess of Duke Street, Doctor Who, and then the Generation Game. Which was...
But the Generation Game was watched. Well, like to see your Strictly Come Dancing, your fucking Britain's Got Talent, or that. Get rid of all that shit. That's just killed Saturday night TV. Ant and Dec's fucking takeaway. Take yourselves to fuck.
see, I don't watch any of them.
Neither do I. And I think that's the reason. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, I used to enjoy Saturday night TV. Because you had some great programs, but now it's just all fucking reality crap.
Well, did you catch the news this week that Netflix?
Yes.
That's
just, they're going to add £2 onto your bill.
Gladiators are ready.
So if you share your password, they're going to charge you for it.
Well, they've dropped what?
200,000 customers.
Yeah.
They've done what, sorry?
They've dropped 200,000 customers and they're blaming account sharing on it.
Shane, I hate Mr. Blobby.
No, not crinkly bottom. No.
I get that when I've been in the bath too long.
I get that when I stand up now with gravity.
Mr. Blobby.
I would have quite happily set fire to that.
Basil Brush. I always wanted to see him go up in flames.
Mr. Derrick, sir.
See, if Netflix had adverts, forget it. That's the only reason I pay for Netflix. I can watch what I want without adverts.
You shouldn't have to have, if you're paying for it, you shouldn't have to have adverts.
Yeah.
What are you paying for?
Well, this is what I'm trying to work out. Because, like, Amazon, you get the adverts at the start. But it's not goods, is it? It's other
what's
programs.
Coming up. It's same with if you watch BBC iPlayer. You always get an advert before it, but it's a show that they do, which that bit you don't mind.
No, but when they're stopping it halfway through.
For Daz Automatic, no.
Yeah.
Oh, your what's what and then what?
Well, this is it.
Kill it with Till It Bang.
Grateful's just not got it bang on. A lot of people watched everything on Netflix during the lockdown. It's starting to show its age. It's been around for a long time, and a lot of the stuff on Netflix is getting long in the tooth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of niche stuff in there, which is great, like Somebody Feed Phil, one of my favourite food shows. Not available anywhere else. But
Russian Doll, season 2. Hey, going to be watching that tomorrow.
I haven't watched that yet.
Season 1 was ace. Jan didn't get it, but I did. I really enjoyed it.
That's the one where she relives her birthday?
It's basically like Groundhog Day.
Right. I must admit, I've been watching quite a lot of the Korean programs on Netflix, and some of them are absolutely fantastic.
Been watching what? Sorry.
The Korean programs.
Oh yeah.
Some of them are really, really good.
there is some good. I mean, Disney Plus, that has grown as a platform. There is some cracking stuff on Disney, and it's not all kiddie.
I loved it at Disney.
Well, Disney's got Marvel, isn't it? It's got Star Wars and all that now, isn't it?
But it's also got Star. It's got Discovery.
Yeah.
There's all sorts on there. I mean, it's a cracking platform. BritBox, I can see dying in the next sort of 48 months.
Well, Star Trek's under Paramount now. You've got to have Paramount Plus for that.
No, Star Trek's on Netflix.
Yeah, bits.
No, they pulled the money generating Star Trek onto
I think
Paramount
Discovery, the Final Frontier season, that's with Pike, all that lot. I mean, there's quite a few series now, and Paramount Plus.
Yeah, but all the older series are still on. The Next Generation, Voyager, and that kind of stuff are still on the likes of Netflix.
Yeah, but let's be right, they've milked the fans for that already.
Yeah, you can't milk us anymore for that.
Since 1966.
It's the longest hand job in history.
Well, even Amazon, I'm finding Amazon being a pain in bum. You're paying for Amazon TV and you're having to pay for bloody everything. Anything decent on Amazon now, you're virtually having to pay for it.
I think
But have you noticed what Amazon's doing though? What Amazon does is, see if there's like a series, like a trilogy or whatever it is, they'll give you the last two free, the second and third one free on Amazon Prime, but the first one you need to pay for.
Crazy, isn't it?
Well, there's, they've got us, they've killed the terrestrial channels pretty much. In Channel 4, privatising that. Channel 4 was a public channel. And the government paid for it. They got revenue from the adverts. Yeah? Once it goes private, forget it.
Yeah.
And Faxi, I mean, the side loading, expect that to get jumped on.
Yeah, of course.
It has been already.
They've got the IP blocks on. They're starting to, if compared to 2 years ago, the amount of streaming stuff that's disappeared is ridiculous.
According to, because I've got it on mine, and I think it was the other week. It just stopped completely. I went back in to try and reload it back on, would not load. So I googled it, and apparently Amazon have updated their software to prevent you from doing it.
I noticed it probably towards the end of the last lockdown that we had. All of a sudden, any side ones, if you'd watch it, it'd end up buffering all the time. Continuously buffering. Whereas if obviously I went on Amazon or Disney, obviously I can watch 4K film, not a single buffering. But as soon as I went on anything like that, it buffered straight away.
See, Faxi, I've got the VPN. That's not the issue. Like Mark said, some of it's the buffering, but a lot of it, the sources are getting hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
to be fair, I'm kind of old school. I don't mind paying for it.
I don't mind paying for it as long as I own it.
Yeah. I think that's why I still buy Blu-rays.
See, I mean, I bought stuff on Amazon before. Yeah, I bought all the sci-fi release of June. Kept it for 12 months and then it disappeared. I'm not paying to borrow it for 12 months. If I buy it, I want it there.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's why, I mean, I literally still buy Blu-rays, me.
Well, that's why I like CEX.
Yeah.
I can walk in there. The biggest CEX stores are brilliant for finding those lost gems. I mean, I went up to the Donny one, and their CD section is absolutely bursting with gems I haven't seen in years.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty about it. It's just the storage side of it. People don't like it anymore, do they?
Well, it's the fact that you've got to have space to stick it. Yeah. One of the girls at work was very upset that at the amount of space her husband's CD collection was taking up.
I'm going to keep quiet, aren't I? You've seen my wall.
I've seen your wall, and it's fabulous.
Mine's just still in 2 boxes up in the loft.
Evening, Mick.
I've literally got a full wall, and it is filled top to bottom of DVDs and Blu-rays.
It's like a library. It's fabulous. Instead of books, he's got DVDs and the rest of it. It's absolutely fabulous.
You know, when we was having the COVID and everyone was doing Zoom calls and they had books behind them, I ought to have my DVD collection behind me. I look a proper blooming nerd then.
Oh, that would have been fab. Good evening, Mick.
Good evening, Mickey. Please say hello to Vinny for me, will you? He's been a tad under the weather, poor lad.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough old last few months, to be honest. I mean, especially on the streaming side and all the rest of it. I've noticed that shall we say, the newer releases, for the ones that are still in the cinema, seem to be coming from the same old sources because they've all got the same adverts in. So how long it lasts, I don't know. I mean, as the technology gets better with the tracking, even with the VPN, it's not going to be the fact you're streaming it. It's going to be the sources of the material.
Yeah. Eventually, it's like anything. They eventually catch up. But there's always someone doing something else new.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's always a way.
Do you remember back in the day where it used to be dodgy satellite cards? You'd buy a motorised dish and then buy a hooky card from down the pub.
Well,
And
wasn't
instead
it that one
tuning into Astra.
where that wanted a pub or something, and they was playing, was it Sky Sports? But
Yeah.
they was getting it from a different receiver. They was getting it from Spain or something like that. And
Yeah.
Sky tried to take them to court and they lost.
There was a pub I think it was a pub in Glasgow not a few months back was actually done for that.
And you know when you watch the football in the pub, there's like a picture of a little pint pot in the corner because it's a different stream that commercial Sky units get. Yeah. Well, it might have changed by now. I mean, Christ, it's 20 years since I've done it. But when we paid for Sky, yeah, any of our sports channels all had this little pint in the corner. And that was the way that the undercover customer for Sky could walk into your pub, look at the screen and see straight away whether it was a legit channel or not.
Oh, right. I never knew that.
Yeah.
There was, God, it's actually not far from here. There was a pub not far from where we live here. They were fined on the 9th of April this year, £10,000 for illegally screening football.
Bloody hell. So, I mean, chat, what's your view on it? I mean, obviously, now if you want to have these video on demand, you've got to pay for the packages and all the rest of it. So do you think there's still a market for the hooky side of things and side loading, or?
Do you know what I think there will be? Because there's too many of them. Now, you take for us, all three of us are pretty much sci-fi geeks. We like a sci-fi. So, for us to watch Marvel, Star Wars, we've got to have Disney.
Yep.
If we want to watch Star Trek, we've got to have Paramount Plus.
Yep.
That's just two separate ones. Then, if you want to watch Stranger Things or something like that, you've got to have Netflix. So that's 3 services. Then, if for argument's sake, like me, you like Picard and things like that, that's 4 services. You've got to have Amazon.
If you want the latest films, you've got to pay for Sky. You know,
And it's sort of like, how many... This is why I think that the BBC licence days are numbered.
Well, the government's made that clear already. I mean, they are definitely looking to knock it.
Because people are just not going to be able to afford it.
The thing is, though, at the end of the day, it's a luxury.
It is a luxury.
It's not a you must have it to survive. It's a luxury.
So why is taxed on it then? So is it a sin tax?
No, I mean for the Netflix and all the rest of it, the various streaming platforms.
Yeah, yeah, totally. But the BBC, irrespective, you have got to have a license. So if you own a television, a mobile phone, or a PC, you have got to have a TV license.
But originally, when you go back to the
when you go back to it, was just a TV.
It was your TV license. It was like having a car license. You know, you had to have a license.
I mean, every time you bought a TV, you had to register the TV.
So that's where it's got blurred. Now, if it was that, fair enough. I can live with that. You know, but don't charge me anything else.
But I think, I mean, I read something, it was only go back a few months or something like that now, because somebody mentioned something like this before regarding
Faxi, that you're wrong there. It's live TV broadcasting, yes, but if you've got a mobile phone or you've got a computer or a laptop, you can still watch BBC live programmes, and that's why you need a licence.
But apparently it's not just BBC.
Oh no, it's ITV as well.
It's any live TV programme at all. Whereas I think in the past it just used to be BBC, because that's what they say, because we're uniquely funded to pay for your paedophiles and shit. But...
Mr. P.
See, they've got you on the internet side of things because of BBC I. You can watch live TV. You can watch BBC News 24. And there's no way of taking that out of your system. It's because you go straight onto it. So it's classed as live TV.
You even know. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't watch council telly anymore because it's shit.
It's as you say, it's slowly closing the loopholes, and we've got to the point where the next big thing hasn't become common knowledge yet. Because at one point it was downloading everything, wasn't it? You know, you downloaded a hooky copy of the DVD, you burned it, you watched it.
Or you go to the market.
Well, yeah. Then it went on to streaming. Now they're closing that down, because when was the last time you saw a DVD burner? With a new PC.
About a second ago.
Well, I bought one when I moved into the flat 2 years ago. No DVD drive on it.
No, you don't have them anymore.
Yeah. So the technology's slowly being taken away for you to do it. Yeah. So it's getting interesting. It is getting interesting. And I think for the next few years, until the next big thing appears, you know, we are going to be stuck with the legitimate...
So what do you think the next big thing is? I know that sounds... I know it's... Well, because I can't see where else we can go. Besides actually directing it straight into your brain. You're picking signals up in your brain.
I think it'll be hooky accounts next. Yeah.
No, I'm on about the technology.
Oh, the technology. I think we're pretty much where we can get. You can't go any more than 4K because the human eye won't pick it up.
Well, they are bringing out 8K, aren't they now?
What's the bloody point?
That's just a sales pitch.
If your eyeballs can't pick up the difference...
By all accounts, your eyes can't pick up 4K either.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me either.
I can't pick up fuck all because I'm blind.
Well, it's like, what's the point of having a car that does 200 miles an hour?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? With all these, we did on a recent road trip, so we went down to Watford. The majority of that was average speed cameras. Yeah. My first car could have got us quite easily, legally, and at the same time to where we went. So why have I paid out for a 2 litre, stick your foot down and go when you can't?
But it's nice just to have that power under your right foot.
To what purpose? Because all I end up doing is thinking, I
mean, it's, as you say, the likes of these so-called smart motorways, you're buggered. You can't. You're going to be limited. You can't. For where it tells you up in that gantry, that's what you need to do. Because by the time you get from A to B on these smart motorways, your license has been kissed goodbye.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as well, what they're doing now is it a percentage of your annual salary is your actual fine?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Apparently there was 2 guys caught in I think it was the M25, and it was like thousands of pounds they were fined because of their salary.
I can't remember. Did I mention this last week? I'm not sure. Did I mention about the driver getting fined for drink driving, even though he wasn't driving?
Yes, you did.
I thought I did. Sorry.
Evening, Liz.
Uggles.
Yeah, we're going to have to face it, boys. We're becoming dinosaurs.
We are dinosaurs. This is not about coming. We are dinosaurs.
The world is becoming strange and confusing.
Definitely dinosaurs then, because the whole...
Pull my hair, but I'm fucking trying.
And this is why I don't have the toilet roll attached to the wall.
Do you know something, Pastor? I wouldn't trust one of them. Would you, a driverless car?
Dawn tries it already.
I'm a nervous wreck when Jan drives.
Well, Dawn's new car.
And she's good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that she's a bad driver or anything. No, it's sort of like just somebody else driving. It's sort of like, ooh.
Right, hands up how many people sitting in the passenger side of a car who is a driver actually sit with their foot in that imaginary brake.
I do it. I'm the world's worst passenger. But I mean, Dawn's just got a new motor. It tells you off when you go over the white line without indicating. If you're in cruise control and somebody brakes in front of you, and this can be a good 20, 30 foot in front of you, it brakes as well. You know, it's crazy. You constantly
you'd be kangaroo petrol all day long. Can you remember they did it with they were unveiling the Tesla driverless car, and they drove it through a big aircraft hangar, and the other side it was all covered in like smoke and fog and shit, and they put one of these concrete barriers about 200 yards outside the doors, fucking ploughed straight into it.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing, they know that the barriers work.
But if you have an accident in a driverless car, yeah, this was raised by one of the motoring mags. Who's at fault? Who do you sue? Do you sue the manufacturer of the car? And their answer was, if you don't follow the instructions in the car, yeah, it's your fault. So you can be in driverless mode, and if it says obstruction ahead, and you don't take over control.
Yeah, because you're still technically in charge of a motorised vehicle.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sorry. I'm old-fashioned.
Yes, Dawn, you have chauffeured me around all this weekend, and you haven't killed me. It's been very pleasant, actually. I could get used to this.
What was you blindfolded? Was you
No, no.
in the boot?
That was something else entirely.
That was Joe Pesky night.
Oh, Livy, oh, Sal.
Date night with a twist. He didn't know.
Told you it wouldn't take long.
I think we've lasted quite well, nearly an hour.
I'd be honest, I'd be terrified in one of those self-drive cars. Jesus, no, I don't think I could do it.
I mean, can you remember? You probably remember it, Stevie. There was a talk, ages ago, that there was going to get it so that lorries linked.
Yes.
It wasn't completely driverless, but it was the way that the lorries would actually end up being like in a train.
Yeah.
And they would follow each other, and obviously the automatic distancing and everything.
Which is all well and good until some idiot in a BMW tries to slot in between them.
Yeah. Well, there's normally an Audi drivers. Sorry.
I've got lots of friends who drive wagons, and they all tell the same story. 1 minute they're leaving a decent gap in between the lorry in front, and the next minute it's a bloody car in there. Yeah.
And what car drivers don't seem to realise is you've got 40, 50 ton sitting in your arse end.
Yeah, you ain't stopping.
You're doing 55 miles an hour. You're doing what you can do legally. And if somebody jumps in front of you and you hit those brakes, you're dropping your speed down to 40, 30, 35, 40 miles an hour on the motorway. It takes an eternity for that wagon to get back up to that speed again. So you're doing is creating a tailback. You're creating more havoc than anything else.
But you've also got the lorry drivers that try to overtake another lorry that takes 6 miles to bloody overtake it.
Going up a hill.
And you get a lot. I mean, I'd go up the A1M onto M18 every day. And the amount of lorries that do that is ridiculous. Instead of staying in left-hand lane and let the cars go by him, no, they decide, I'm going to take about 10 minutes to try and overtake this other lorry that I'm going half a mile an hour faster than. That's when it gets silly.
100%. I've asked some of the lads, and they've said sometimes to do it on purpose.
Oh, I know they do it on purpose.
Yes, there is a train of lorries now in Kent waiting for ferries.
Oh, God, you're not kidding.
My concern is electric vehicles. If one crashes, chances are people in other vehicles have the wrong fire extinguisher and can't put out an electric fire. Well, this is it.
I heard, I mean, how true it is, I don't know but I heard that if an electric car at the present moment gets on fire on the motorway or on a road, the fire brigade will not put it out.
I can believe that.
They will let it burn. Because they're highly explosive.
Did you see there was a video on Facebook today about some gas bus or something like that? I think it was maybe somewhere in Europe that blew up. And it was something to do. I think it ran on methane or something like that. So it had methane tanks in the back. And honestly, it was going off like a firework. I mean, there was flames shooting out the back. There was flames shooting out 20 feet up in the air. Like, Jesus.
Well, when I used to be into Land Rovers, they used to do that. They used to gas them. LPG. And you used to have LPG tanks. Obviously, they had to get them tested every year. But yeah, it was all that.
Well, end of the day, it's how it works. Inside your engine is a controlled explosion.
Yeah, of course
That's
it is. It's a bomb.
Yeah. It's a bomb. If the electric car has 18650 batteries, do they blame the vapors?
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. Because it was vaping. You were doing that vapey thing.
Oh, don't. Did a rookie mistake on Sunday. Went for a meal. Thought I turned off the pod. Shoved it in my pocket. Got about 20 minutes into the meal. Suddenly realised my groin area was burning. So whipped it out the tweeds.
What about your pod?
The pod. Slapped it on the table, sat there.
Yeah, what do you think to that, love?
Get your laughing gear around that then.
Managed to last an hour and a half. Not
Don't really lasted an hour and a half
without extolling how much my groin was on fire. Mainly because I do pasty. I do. We've all done it.
I've
The
never
thing
done
is,
it.
never had that with a mech. Never,
I
ever.
have never done that.
Oh, man. I've got chuffing burn at the top of my leg where this damn thing went off in my pocket. It was right. I was sat next to Dawn's dad. That's why I managed to last an hour and a half without extolling how much my groin was hurting. But as soon as we got in the car and Gerald was away, I developed Tourette's in nanoseconds. So, it was not good. Not good. But I always thought this thing had a thermal cutout.
Yeah, I thought you had a thermal cutout. I thought after you pressed it for so many seconds, it'd turn off.
This thing got hot enough that it was literally when I pulled it out of the pocket.
Really? That bad?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was red hot for the next 5-10 minutes.
So, after your experience, what was your conclusion?
I'm a pillock. My bloody fault for sticking it in my pocket. End of the day, nobody else to blame, but, you know.
Yeah, but it's a big excuse to get Dawn to rub your leg. Honestly, Dawn, it's really sore.
Well, I just could not believe how hot it got.
So have you now got Geek Bait branded inside your thigh or something?
Now I've got a
Ages.
half-inch blister at the top of my thigh.
Purge.
Could be worse, could be a wankle.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Dawn.
Oh, I must admit,
Dawn.
I did it years ago with the original Aegis Legend. It was actually my suit jacket pocket. And I didn't realise I'd been leaning against it. And you know that you get that, somebody's vaping. Coil's burnt out. Fuck, it's me. Literally, that burnt the actual lining in my suit.
Blooming heck.
So this, you know, when you think, oh, thermal cutout, it'll work, they don't always.
I've only ever had, since I've been vaping, and I've been vaping, 10 and a half years, nearly 11 years, I've only ever had one incident, and that's with my hog, and I put the batteries in the wrong way around in the middle of the night, changing my batteries with no light on. That was a hog. That got slung out the window. Oops, I was up here. Fortunately, I've got a window to the back garden just over here. That got opened and just slung.
I'm not surprised because if a hog goes off.
Do you know something? As big a mech guy as I am, I think hogs are probably the worst mech for safety in that respect, because trying to get that battery door off is a nightmare. It really is. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my hog, but them doors, because it's one of them push clasp ones, and then the whole lot comes off. But I couldn't, so I just slung it.
Especially when you're in a kind of a panic.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're in a panic.
Yeah, because that thing was getting red hot. You could hear it.
Some of the clones I had, great at the time. And then when I think back on it now, if I'd ever had a battery problem with one of them, there's no way I'd have got the bottom off. Because janky thread and things, took some welly to get it off when it was cold, let alone when it's red hot and you think it's about to go boom.
No, Vaping Bunny, I've never owned a cherry bomber. I've always wanted one. My mates had one. Quite a few of my mates have had one. I remember Dave Dawn, a live show, and it went off on him.
The cherry bomb. The real man's vape.
Cherry bomb. I always wanted one, but never got my hands on one.
Always want you and me both, mate. I mean,
there was a guy that came on our show, a friend of Chris's, and he was mad into him. He collected them.
Yeah, he'd got about 7 or 8 different models, hadn't he? Because he got a couple of original cherry bombs as well. But it was the clones again that caused a lot of the problems with cherry bomb.
But I remember on Vapor Trails TV, he had it. And that was an original. It wasn't a clone. It was an original.
That was original.
Yeah, and started just auto firing.
Scuba's got one apparently.
Cool.
They must be worth something now.
If it's an original, yeah.
Original cherry bomb.
Yeah.
The metal ones were the ones.
Yeah, it was the metal ones that auto fired a lot.
They were still lovely.
They were back to basics.
It was gorgeous. Mind saying that, I nearly cut me tackle with a fucking Geek Vape product, so I don't think I'm...
That still surprised me. I mean, obviously you burnt your coil out, didn't you?
Burnt his what?
No. It didn't burn the coil out.
Really?
100%. Still in. I'm on it now.
He did a video on it and it's got 1 trillion views. Sorry, 10 trillion views.
Oh, it's cherry bomb. Is that why they were called cherry bombs? Because they go boom. Quite possibly. It's not a million miles from the thought, is it?
That's a nice looking box. That's the first time I've seen one.
They've got the original ones had the 1950s pin-up.
Yeah, it was like a picture of a woman sat across a bomb, like you'd have in Second World War aeroplanes.
Looks a bit Jessica Rabbit-esque.
Yeah, very much so. And then it says,
she's the Kirby girl.
Underneath foot clones.
Yeah.
There's definite Hong Kong material.
Talking about retro vapes, I wish to bring the Vapor Flask back. I always wanted a Vapor Flask.
Never appealed.
I always thought that'd be so comfy in your back pocket.
Well, I was having an interesting chat with the Dale this afternoon.
You was who? Sorry,
Dale down at It's Not Smoke, and we were chatting, and I was looking at what they got in the cupboards, and we just started chatting on the fact that there's nothing exciting come out, and like he said, he was hoping to hell that this pod explosion was going to tail off and we'd end up going full circle and back to the mechs. He said, then the bloody disposables came in. But I mean, to be honest, looking at the news, etc., I think the days of the disposable are numbered.
Well, reading the articles, I mean, they're definitely clamping down on them.
Well, this is it.
Yeah, well, I think the likes of the black market's putting the kibosh on them as well, because the likes of your trading standards are raiding shops right, left and centre at the moment.
Well, that was another part of the conversation that really interested me, because apparently trading standards aren't just going for the hooky disposables. but they're also pulling anything that's deemed to be child friendly off the shelves as well. So
Yeah,
if you've got,
it's not a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you've got a juice on there that's got a cartoon label on, and you've got somebody from Trading Standards who's having a bad day, they could pull that lot off as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, saying that, I mean, go back, 2015, 2016, and it was a trend to have bad labels. It really, I mean, especially in America. Oh Jesus, they're some of their labels, but it was a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
So what they do is they bring out a full range of these really bad child-orientated labels, and then they change them after the hype and everything. They change them, and it was like, look how good that company is. They've listened to us. We've told them that the labels are bad, and they were all doing it.
But look at it. You walk into any vape shop, yeah? How many copyright breaches have you got on that labelling? You've got Peaky Blenders, Zivians.
Oh, there's loads of them.
You know, if they wanted to, they could quite easily.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as it's not intent. But then, like Peaky Blenders, I mean, it's just blatantly obvious what it is because they've got pictures of him.
You know, but
because there's an only fools and horses style one as well, isn't there?
Yeah. I think the worst one ever I saw in the whole of my vaping life, we was at an expo and they had one that looked like it come out, a selection box.
Yeah.
And it was literally a selection box. And I thought that was the worst one ever.
Hey, look, Mark H. You'd be a good man for this, Mark. What's out of what's in the shop? How much of it's labelled up with either characters or in a style of something that's copyrighted already?
He's not going to openly admit any of that, is he? Poor lad.
Of
course I'm going to admit all that live on TV.
Seems to be an industry standard, though.
I think it's a Chinese standard because they don't view copyright like we do, or should I say the West does, because they actually think in another way that actually they're complimenting. It's a compliment.
Yeah, but a lot of these juices are UK made.
Oh yeah, but they're still going off that same styling though, aren't they? I'm not sticking up for them by any means.
Yeah.
But I'm just sort of like, it's more to do with the culture.
Yeah. Hey, Zan.
Zan, fist bump. Oh, you all right, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, we seem to be making a rod for our own back, though. As an industry.
The industry's always has, though. It's always made a rod for its own back.
It's mental.
They always want to seem to appeal to that younger audience.
Yeah, but look at it. The likes of Zeus Juice, Riot Squad. There is a brand there. Yeah? Doesn't infringe anybody else's. It's theirs. Now, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, there's loads of companies like that, though.
There is, but it seems to be the cheaper end of the market that's going for the infringement stuff.
But a lot of these ones, as you say, for the infringement, that the likes of the copyright, they're there for about 6 months to a year and then they disappear. I've seen that a lot over the years.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there's been hundreds of e-liquid companies that have been and gone.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean,
I think it's like a trend with everything, though, isn't it? You get people jumping on the bandwagon saying, right, we're going to get in here and make a fast buck. Let's think of a name, right? That'll do. Let's make a shitload of these and we'll sell as much as we possibly can and then we'll disappear.
See,
I tend to agree with what Mark's just said. The labelling side of things, I think it's calmed down a hell of a lot compared to it was a few years back.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a couple of sites at the moment, just browsing through you, and there's very, very little now with cartoon style labelling or aimed towards, I know they say it's aimed towards children, but we know it isn't, but it gets labelled like that anyway, but there's very, very few and far between these days. I think the manufacturers...
Oh, bless you, Zan. Awesome, that is such good news.
Oh, Zan was here today, and wow, he's a shadow of his former self. Literally, the weight that's come off, it's absolutely fantastic.
That's made my day, that has.
Well done to him and Gail. Absolutely brilliant. Standing there doing him, I was like, who are you? Yeah, no, well done, mate. Absolutely
well done. Yeah.
Oh,
honestly.
That's fantastic. It really is. So he's all slim and sexy now, then?
Always was sexy.
Yeah.
And he knows I'd do him. You see him fucking disappearing.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Especially
you
to
should
get
be
yourself
well
off.
proud of yourself, mate.
Man, that's a nice bit of good news for the evening.
That's genuinely made my day, that has. Really has. I'm quite envious, I've got to admit, quite envious.
Well said, Gailey. Yeah, but from sounds of it, there's not enough to share anymore, so... Oh, bless. That's absolutely brilliant, mate. Yes, big up the love for Zan. Definitely with that news.
So getting back to your conversation with It's Not Smoke, do you think, or does he think as well, where we're going? What's he think? What's his...
At the minute, there don't seem to be a lot of indicators on what's happening next.
There doesn't be... I remember once upon a time there used to be a fad, and he used to normally be in America and then come over here. 1 minute it was the custards, then it was the donuts, and then it was the fruits or whatever. There doesn't seem any of that now.
No, we seem to have fallen more into a seasonal. So you get your puddings and your desserts in the winter, and then your fruits and your ice in the summer.
Also, it's like I said, the trends have disappeared now.
Yeah.
Completely.
And I think that's what I've noticed in more this year, that with the lack of the US market, because you're not getting the same input, there's not the big push for the next big thing in the way of mods.
No, there's not. There's nothing.
Unless you're keeping your eye on e-cig vape or, vaping 101 or whatever, they seem to be having a real problem drumming up any excitement over a new device.
But have you also noticed as well that a mod or I'll just say device to spread it doesn't last long before it's discounted?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking probably 3 months, 4 months, and then all of a sudden, I'm not so much obviously in brick and mortar stores, but definitely online, I've noticed it. So like a lot of the Lost Vape ones, the Lost Vape Quests editions, blooming, they've dropped in price, something rotten.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just looking on, what was it, Vaping 101? They're doing the Thelma Solo, I think it's 34 quid.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, I mean, look how many devices Geek Vape's already released this year. You got the H45, the L100, the 200.
And then you got the Winaxes.
Yeah, it's almost like they're jumping on the bandwagon now to try and get as much cash as possible. So,
yeah, I mean, that Mark, I totally understand that, because when I were at the vape shop, there wasn't really a big call for dual battery mods anymore. It was all single battery. mods. People don't want big mods anymore. They want something small and compact.
It's all right, but it's not what I would call something that size. Is what I would happily pick up in an evening to treat myself. That is just a daily banger when I'm out and about.
Yeah, but the ones that sell.
Yeah.
The daily bangers, nobody's bothered about that.
And then going back to the likes of disposable, look how many seasoned vapors now actually walk about a disposable in their pocket.
Oh, the amount of drivers that come into our place that are chugging on a disposable.
See, I'm with Pasty. I'd rather have a big mod, but we're in a minority, and I'm well aware of that fact.
See, I've always been a mech guy, so that's the kind of size I like, because I've only got small hands anyway. But it's like I was saying ages and ages ago when disposables started coming about, they are the closest thing that you will get to buying a cigarette. When you think about it, it's a perfect little device. There's no charging, there's no filling, there's no coils to play around with. You just take it out, the packet, vape it, and that's it. Once it's finished, you get another one. Yeah, it's the perfect device.
But it also has the same problems as when you used to buy hooky fags down the pub. You've got no idea what's in it or where it came from.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go to a normal vape shop and buy you whatever, you know it's not going to be hooky.
Yeah, your Q bar or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you know if it's hooky or not. But
there's one of the lads that I work with. He came off the cigarettes about 3-4 weeks ago, and he's been buying disposables. And he keeps saying to me, he says, "This is supposed to last 500 puffs." He says, "I've had it a day and a half." He says, "And it's died."
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that.
He's having to go back and buy more.
Depends how they're stored. There's all sorts of stuff for that.
How long it's been lying on the shelf? Because I mean, we all know batteries will tend to die, or they do die after a certain length of time.
Yeah, they can only hold the charge for so long. But also, you've got to remember, it depends on how long. We all know about coils soaking in e-liquid as well. So, I mean, how long is the actual coil been exposed to the e-liquid? That's why I always thought the Minove ones that I reviewed were quite cool, because they had a bung that you pulled out, because when obviously in storage, it sealed the actual coil. Yeah. So you pulled it out and left it for 5 minutes, then obviously the wicking would start. And I haven't seen any other company do that.
Yeah.
Ladies, behave.
But yeah, I mean, I had a lad today. You were asking my advice. He's been vaping on disposables, and he's decided to get a Node 2, Smart Node 2, and he's turned around and says, "I prefer me disposable." He says, "I'm getting better flavour from my disposable than my Node 2."
And again, I can understand it. You know, tiny coil.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna. Bunny, that's why I love you. It's the same when I went from coils and, you know, pre-bought coils to making my own and wiki. At first, it was like, bloody hell, because I wasn't getting the coil placement or the wick right. The flavour dropped off a cliff. You know, it took me a while, but I think that's the difference between the hobbyist and the instant gratification.
You see, the problem is, I mean, we're griping because we're hobbyists, and it's the mainstream which are buying your disposables and that. They're the bulk. They're the bulk of the vapors, and they will always be the bulk of the vapors.
And they're setting the market. Because at the end of the day, it's about the cash. Nobody, Geek Vape don't give a damn if you've been buying their products for X amount of years.
They couldn't give monkeys. They couldn't give monkeys if you're a dedicated follower of Lost Vape or whatever. Yeah. As long as you buy the next product. And they're only going to make what sells. That's economics, that.
Yeah, the corporate world does not follow loyalty. It follows the cash.
Yeah.
And that's why you got screwed on your insurance for years. Pasty, bless you.
Nah, don't ever behave. Nah, it's overrated.
Bloody is.
But that's where we are at, and I think the hobbyist side of it, I think the only way that the hobbyist side of things, that's why everyone's into blooming burrow tanks at the moment. That's the hobbyist side of things. That's one rabbit hole I don't want to go down because that's so expensive.
Well, saying that, a decent AIO device I would be interested in, but not when you pay 50 quid for a bridge.
Exactly.
Mm.
So the only other thing is, I've got a feeling that the only way that the interest will come back is if it's sort of like homegrown again.
Yeah,
Homegrown people are getting into it.
but there's no money in it.
Because people won't pay it. You can be as elitist as you want, and you can say, "Oh, I like high-end mods and that lot." Yeah, great. That's fantastic.
500
But
quid. How
the
much?
average person, someone like myself on my wages, I can't afford it.
No.
And I'm definitely not. And I've never been one of these ones that'll join a Facebook group, then have to get a lottery ticket, then have to wait my turn and go through this hoop and that hoop to get an RDA for a couple £100 that I find out that it's not that great. I'm just not going to do it.
We're just... Well, unfortunately, us dinosaurs are the ones that we're still... Some of us are still stuck in the mindset of craftsmanship.
I'll tell you one thing, Mark. When I used to work at the vape shop, we got excited when somebody wanted us to put a coil in something.
Yeah.
It's all like, oh my god, we're going to build. We got blooming excited. And I think that in the year and a half that I worked at TVS, I think that only happened about 3 times. Because no one's interested in buying actual normal coils now. They're all pre-made coils.
Oh man, trying to find wire now in a brick and mortar is becoming an event in itself.
And then the
just want-
faxi, I've built few who were ace. That was so like, our element.
People just
Love
want
that.
simplicity, don't they?
Sorry?
People just want simplicity. That's what it comes down to.
And that's why the disposables are so popular.
Yeah.
It's such a... There's something incredibly satisfying about getting that build right. And not just once, but being able to get the skills up to be able to do it every time. Yeah. Mastering an RDA used to be, smile on my face for days.
Okay, Liz.
I'll be honest. When I first started, when I came away from stock coils and stuff, and I was starting to build, RDAs and tanks and fucking Christ knows all what, I would have little piles of coils sitting all over the place because I made an arse cut in the legs.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like, fuck, another one ruined. I'm fucking make another one. And it's practice makes perfect. You're not going to get that these days. Plus you get a lot of manufacturers now that are all making pre-made coils.
Yeah.
Just buy them online, cut legs, bung them in, job's done.
Yeah.
Well, I was chatting to a guy the other day, and what you got under the hood, sort of pulled the top off. I just got straight coil, straight wire coils, no Claptons, no nothing, just straight wire. And he looked at me as if I was some sort of deviant. Pulls his off. He's got fucking uber duber fucking Celtic knot wire.
Celtic knot wire.
Yeah.
I still love my basic round wires. In fact, I've just bought 2 reels, 20 gauge and 21 gauge flat wire.
Fucking hell, where you find that?
Self-vape. Stealth vape.
Excellent. Thank you.
Literally, I love them, especially. I found out about proper flat wire. Still canthal, just normal flat wire. And I found when I got me goon first, because obviously round wire in a goon is a little bit, I don't kind of like it because obviously the plates. And I found this flat wire and I thought, oh, I wonder if that'll work. And yeah, it works perfect.
Well, it was in I-80 flat. I used to always get that. Loved it. Absolutely brilliant vape on it. The only thing I found was, in order to get your ohms, sometimes it was a bit tight in the smaller RDAs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously you've got a greater width on your coil, but...
I mean, back in the day, all the RDAs and that, like 22 mil, and you had about a 19 mil blooming deck.
Yeah. Yeah, but you didn't have sort of 5 mil fucking turbochargers in there, did you? So...
I genuinely miss them days. I really do. Try new coils out and yeah.
Fake. Don't get me wrong. I love a ram wire. Simple ram wire. You can't go wrong with it. You know, it's cracking. And I know everybody says, "Oh, you get more flavour off a Clapton." I disagree. If you build it right.
Yeah, I disagree.
You know, I appreciate the physics. There's more surface area and all the rest of it on all this.
That's why I like my flat wire, because obviously you get the surface area. I tell you another one, a trick I used to do, and that was 24 gauge and twist it.
Yeah.
My simple twisted 24 gauge. Fantastic. Ask our Aiden. We was at Expo one time and he wanted me to build him... what were it? He had a Wasp Nano, bless him. He bought his Wasp Nano and he was really looking forward to trying it. And the only wire that I had was 24 gauge. And there's me, wrapped it round blooming door handle and just twisted it.
Yeah.
He loved it.
He did me a metre length of this. And those calls lasted me for ages. I was bloody heartbroken when we ran out. So I ended up coffee table, shoved it round the leg, twisted it up, worked a treat.
See, the thing is, that's another thing that I like about round wire and obviously my flat wire. The coils last ages compared to sort of like your Claptons or your Aliens. They last ages.
Yeah.
What are you sticking two fingers up at?
Pasty.
You're making some Claptons, Betty.
Not very good at Claptons then? Or you're really good at Claptons?
No, I bought one of those. The fucking hell do you call it?
Oh, one of them jiggy machines.
Yeah. It's up there in a big bloody box with shitloads of wire in it. And I bought it and I made some Claptons up. I thought they're actually quite good. But then obviously we ended up buying a shitload of handmade coils anyway, so it's been lying up there for God knows how long.
Yeah, Liz, just get
so that lot used to
and twist.
That lot used to rip the piss out of me when I was making coils and saying it was the world worst for it. When you're making coils, fuck off.
I made the mistake of buying some Demon Killers, but I bought Juggernauts.
Yeah, the Daedalus Fee.
Oh, Juggernauts are nice.
These weren't. They've got to be the most bloody awful coils I have ever bought in my life. They were cack. No matter what you did with it, no matter what, I've had more flavour off a pair of cheesy socks.
Oh, I remember getting some... the first time I tried them, where did we get it? I think we went to Nottingham. There was a little vape, and I bought a little tub of them. Oh, they were fantastic.
Yeah?
Oh, hey, up the box.
The big one.
I got a box exactly like that, except it hasn't got cogs on it.
Fucking hell.
He's showing us his box now.
Fucking hell. You don't do things by half, Mr. P, do you?
He doesn't, does he?
All or nothing. I must admit, that's a great little thing.
Oh, that's nice.
The
Daedalus.
I haven't seen one of them in a while.
Shut up.
I'm glad it's not just me, Mark.
What?
Bloody juggernauts.
I like them. Obviously, you've got to make them. They're for mechs at the end of the day, a juggernaut.
Yeah.
It's because they're really low ohms. They are designed for mechs. And you've got to have a reasonably big deck anyway to play around with.
Oh, God. These days, I think if I was going to try them again, it'd be a 30mm deck minimum.
Oh, a deck. Right, okay. I just lifted my head up at the wrong time there. Eh? Big deck.
There are those that would argue lifting your head up and finding a big deck isn't a bad thing.
But would you? When in Thailand?
I don't mind as long as it's not bigger than mine.
No, I'm not even going to go into that one. No, ain't going to happen. No. But yeah, I like a little nice round wire build. Can't beat a nice little round wire build.
Yeah, I like a nice round wire build as well. It was on Mr. Mullen. It was watching Mr. Mullen all those years ago. Going, I'm going to try that myself, and I got quite into it. At the end
I
of
think there's something very therapeutic about doing a build.
Oh, there is. You know, I mean, even if you're just knocking out a round wire and just wicking it up yourself, it's that
gives you a sense.
Accomplishment.
Gives you a sense of pride. Yes. I did that. How does it taste?
Especially, can you remember building on 3 posts, and you wanted to still make sure that the coil was in the centre.
Shoving them over again. Bing, fucking out.
And then if you got a blooming cheap clone or something, you blooming guillotine your blooming leads.
Or the thread would strip.
Yeah. Or your centre pin would spin. You'd tighten them all neat, and then you just that one slight turn and oh, those are the days.
That's where you'd be building your coils with a hell of a dog leg on them, so your coils would sit in line with
I've done that so many times.
Yeah, purposely do that while watching blooming Knucklehead.
Well, I got that sick of trying to get the coil placement right, and when I realised that doglegging the leads would make life so much easier, it was like, right, that's what I'm doing from now on.
In fact, I've still got my Tugboat V2 knocking around somewhere. I love that. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to dig it out and see if it is as good as I remembered. Because I used to love that one, and I used to like me dot mod as well, Petrie. I had a thing for them.
Oh, I mean, it's like the MVV. I went back to that the other week, and it's a while since I've used a potentiometer mod. And by God, I love that little thing. It's just lovely.
MVV, you can't go wrong with that. Mine's still going.
Well, I mean, when I reckon mine must be getting on for 5 years old now.
Must be.
I bought it from TVS many, many years ago. It's absolutely brilliant.
They were cracking little Macs, they were.
For the Petrie.
The Petrie. For the time. I thought they were nice. That's when dot mod was dot mod.
But I mean,
but me Tugboat, I used to love me Tugboat. I was so, when I bought the Tugboat, that was my first ever, official proper, not a clone RDA.
Yeah.
I was so proud of that.
No. No.
Anyway, we're up to the hour, guys.
Are we? Bloody hell, that's gone quick. That's gone really
that's
quick.
a shame, Bunny. It's never been used. Oh.
Jules, darling.
Goggles!
She's woke up. Hello, dear.
You could be in for a good night, mate.
I just want a decent sleep. That's what I want. I'm trying to get rid of this damn headache.
Bless you. Well, look, you're going to give your goodbyes?
Goodbye. Never gets old, does it? Guys out there, chat, thank you so much for joining us again on a nice Thursday evening, actually, for a change.
It's still light at your end.
Remember, we get light for hours longer than you guys down there because we're so far north. And look at us, we talked about vaping.
Wow.
Wait a minute, this is getting to be a bit of a trend now. It's like every second or third show we seem to throw vaping in for a bit. Not like this. Take me out of my comfort zone. Anyway, join us again, same time, same place next week for more of the same. And please do us a big favour on your way out, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. We really appreciate it. Mark and Steve, great little discussion tonight. Thank God, because my face couldn't take that for last week. That was sore.
Tell me about it.
Oh God, that was painful.
And at least we yanked.
I shall pass it over to Stephen.
Rachel, chats, thank you so much. Sorry if we bored the socks over you with walking down the memory lane of vaping, but and there's no such thing as a frivolous purchase, Bunny.
No.
We can always justify it somehow. Yes.
Those guys do, yeah.
Yeah. You want to see my
Yeah. You'll find I needed this.
Maybe not now, but I will. Spanners, everybody else, thank you all. Keeping us safe from all the nasty people out there. Regulars, cheers. Really does mean a lot that you choose to spend your time with us. For those on the catch-up, we love you. And don't forget to hit that like button as well, please, if you're on the catch-up. Really does make a difference. And I shall hand you over to the gaffer.
Betty, thank you. Steve, thank you. What a lovely evening. I've really enjoyed this evening. It's been lovely. Unfortunately, we cannot floof either because there is no UKVS on tonight. So I hope the guys are all right. I know our Aiden's not been feeling too good, so but I don't know what's going on the other side. I hope they're all right. So yes, from myself and Betty and Steve, we wish you a good night. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Don't work too hard over the forthcoming week, and we will see you next Thursday.
Another week closer to Expo.
I know. I can't wait. I am so giddy for it. The tickets I've got the hotel, everything. It's all just time now.
Festus, good evening, sir. Yes, just in time for the ending.
Just in time.
And a spot of self-floofing this evening.
Self-floofing.
Self-floofing.
I'm up for that.
Hey!
Oh, I can't wait, Bunny. I so cannot wait. 5 weeks until Huggles.
Honkings. Honkings and Huggles. Yes.
Right, guys, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Like both of them said, please don't forget on your way out to give us a big thumbs up. That'd be really appreciated. And leave a comment. Leave a comment down below. It's always nice to hear what you guys' thoughts are. And also, don't forget we have a Facebook page as well. If you want to slap something in there, well, that'd be awesome as well. So, until next week, I bid you farewell. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Outro.
Self-looping, it should be the thing.
I do everything if I come out of the show, but try to saw your nutsack in half.
Oh, you're a steamy floofer.